PlayOnSports.com's coverage of the girls CIF-State Volleyball Finals. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from CU Arena at Concordia University in Irvine, California. I'm Brian Vilvin with John Henry Winter Nolte on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's Division II State Championship matchup features the Northern California champion, Archbishop Mitty Monarchs, facing the Southern California champion, Martin Luther King Wolves. Archbishop Mitty comes into today's game with an overall record of 37-0, the number one team in the nation, while King is 29-7. And John Henry, you talk about a team with a bullseye on their back. The Archbishop Mitty Monarchs undefeated, that number one national ranking. All the pressure is on the Monarchs here this evening.
Yeah, that's exactly what Coach Gene Krieger was talking about on the Kings High School side. Martin Luther coming in, you know, they've got a couple losses, but they're not too worried about it. This isn't the first time they're the underdogs. You know, they weren't even supposed to make it here, beating La Costa Canyon last week. Huge upset for them. And they're playing, a couple things the coach said. They have nothing to lose, and there's no pressure on them tonight. They're just here to have fun and just play their best.
Well, then you look at the other side at Archbishop Mitty, and the Monarchs are deep, they are tall, and they are well coached. They have the second best winning percentage and the second most state championships of all time here in the state of California. This is their 13th appearance in the state championship game. They're 8-4 all time in state championships for the King Wolves. This is their first ever appearance in this game. So you're talking about a team with 13 appearances now in the final in Mitty, and King in their first appearance here this evening.
Yeah, Archbishop Mitty, this is not their first time, as you put it, and they've got so much experience, so much talent, so much depth. They're going to be tough to stop. They haven't lost a game all year. Under the guidance of Coach Brett Almanzon Cesar, just unbelievable leadership from the girls out there as well as from the bench. And then the execution is just undeniable. Coach said they just play for the next moment. They don't get caught up in what just happened. They just play for the next point.
Well, John Henry, for King, in order to be in this match and have a shot against Archbishop Mitty, who's going to have to step up big for the Wolves?
Number 12, Calais Greeley, the junior, coming in at 6'2". This is her game tonight. I know Archbishop Mitty is going to be kind of going for her. If they feel like if they can stop her, they're going to be able to win another match and another championship.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for the PlayOnSports.com pregame show. We'll be back with the first serve in just a few minutes. The CIF-State Division II Volleyball Championship begins next on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to coverage of the girls CIF-State Volleyball Finals on PlayOnSports.com. Coming to you live from CU Arena in Irvine, California. I'm Brian Vilvin with John Henry Winter-Nolte on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the Northern California champion Archbishop Mitty squaring off against Southern California champion King for the Division II state crown. And John Henry, Archbishop Mitty, 37-0, looking for a potential national championship. All the pressure's on the Monarchs. What do the Kings need to do here? Closing minutes right before we get started.
They can't worry about what they're doing in that moment. They can't worry about what they did the last play. They always have to look towards that next moment, and that's straight from Coach Brett Almanzon Cesar's mouth. I mean, that's exactly what they've been doing all year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they've been doing that the past 13 years, as this is their 13th appearance familiar to this situation, and as much pressure as there is on them, they're used to it. Nothing new for them.
Well, the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs will be the first server to get us going here this evening. The serve by Claire Powers, and it's going to be swung on by the Wolves. 50-50 ball at the net. Martin Luther King Jr. will have another swing in the back row. Jessica Chase with her second attempt. She tips it. And the Monarchs from the back row, Claire Powers hammers it home.
And Claire Powers with drawing the first blood of the game for the Monarchs, and that's what they do best. Just keep pounding you until you make a mistake. So tough to defend against, Brian.
The serve by Powers. A down ball coming for the Monarchs. They'll have another swing at it, this time on the outside, kept alive by the Wolves. Right side set, big swing. Archbishop Mitty puts it down. Allie Wheeler from the right side, the senior, with the kill.
And this Archbishop Mitty team really trying to get ahead early, jump out in front, and assert some dominance here.
The Wolves will go to the middle, and a kill by Lauren Page. Page gets the great set from Tiana Barnett, and the Wolves are on the board.
And the sophomore throwing that one down on just the second hit, catching the Monarchs off guard. That's exactly what King has got to do all day today.
Barnett, the server.
What a dig.
And yeah, the Wolves keep that one alive. Nicely done, but then they can't keep it in play. Martin Luther King really wasted a great reception there.
And I think more importantly, King's got to play a flawless game tonight. They can't afford to make those kind of errors. They've got to capitalize on Archbishop's errors, any ones that they do make. But that one's just unexcusable. Inexcusable.
Set, back one to Calais Greeley, and it's kept alive by the Monarchs. King, huge kill in the middle. Lauren Page once again.
Lauren Page, the second time we've called her name, and man, she got up there. She's pretty tall, but she was 2 feet above the net there for that slam.
The serve by Calais Greeley, and it's out of bounds. Point, Archbishop Mitty. They lead it 4-2 here in game one of a best-of-5 championship. The first 4 games will go to 25, rally scoring, so there's a point scored on every play. You have to win the game by 2, and the 5th game, if it goes to it, will be to 15. Same rules apply. Set outside. Nice dig by Schmidt, the libero for the Monarchs. Great cover there by Schmidt, and a back row set to the right side. That's Wheeler, but it's kept alive by King. 50-50 ball at the net, and it's won by Martin Luther King. Rachel Brown guides that one to the floor, and the Wolves are not afraid.
And Brown doing a good job of putting the exclamation point on that play. But shoot, you got to credit the rest of the King High School squad there. Everybody made a big play on that one to grab that point.
50-50 ball at the net again, and this time Mitty handles the King swing. That ball out of bounds, but a net violation against Martin Luther King. So Shireen Talui will get credit for the kill for Archbishop Mitty.
And that's a tough one. That would have been a point for King, bringing them within to a tie. Excuse me, they would have gone up by 2 there, I believe. It's currently 4-4.
Alyssa Jones will serve for the Monarchs. Set, back row. Huge swing by Wheeler, but it's kept alive by the Wolves. And they'll tip it. And Archbishop Mitty will have another attempt at it. The Wolves handle, they go outside, and a huge block, but it's kept alive. Nice cover by Martin Luther King. Huge swing from the back row, but Mitty keeps it alive. Great rally, both sides. And over into Tiana Barnett calls her own number. And the King Wolves have the lead. What a rally.
What? Oh my goodness. Both sides there, everybody getting involved. And it doesn't come down to the hardest shot or the perfectly placed, it's just the tip.
And a service ace. That was Rachel Brown, the senior right side with the ace. And this huge crowd for Martin Luther King is going absolutely bananas. Brown will continue to serve. And that ball is going to find the floor. Another ace for Brown and another point for the Wolves.
And Brown's serve so tough to defend against. It dips right at the last second. Libero for Archbishop Mitty having a tough time covering that one.
Brown still serving. Set outside. Overpass, and it's going to be won by the Monarchs. Nice job going up high by Claire Powers and sending that ball to the floor. The score.
And even though it's 6-6 right now, it seems like King has just got all the momentum. The crowd's into it, and then they get another tip point, Brian. The crowd is so into it here for King, and Archbishop's got to do something to change this around, because if this crowd stays into it for King, they're going to have a tough time pulling away.
The scoreboard in the arena reads 7-6. Our scoreboard reads 8-5. And they're going to try to get this thing sorted out here. The officials have yet to make an adjustment. So we'll get you updated as soon as we figure out exactly where the error occurs, as Archbishop Mitty hits another one out of bounds. So another point by King, and Martin Luther King has come out firing.
Hey, like we said before, nothing to lose. Those girls are out there having fun. They're having a blast out there. This is great.
Melanie Hughes serving, and a huge kill from the outside. Claire Powers drives it into the floor.
And that's what Archbishop Mitty needs to really do is continue pounding the net, pounding the other side of the floor.
Serve on the way. Goes outside. Huge block on the right side. Allie Wheeler and Alexa Dreyer combine on the block.
Archbishop Mitty doing a good job against number 12, Colette Greeley. And that's what they've set out to do here tonight to win the championship.
Set goes back. Nice swing by Mia Madot. And Mitty hits it into the net. Claire Powers hits that one into the net. Another point for the Wolves. And Martin Luther King has the lead 9-7 here. We'll call it 9-8. Still getting this scoreboard situation figured out. Nice swing in the middle there by Allie Wheeler. Wheeler puts it home, and Archbishop Mitty has tied it up at 9 apiece.
And she's going to be tough to stop, Wheeler. If you can put that ball anywhere close to the net. I mean, she's tough to stop in the middle up there.
Claire Powers at the service line. Set goes outside, and it's dug. Nice dig there by Anne-Marie Schmidt. Wow, the libero comes up with a great play.
And Schmidt, it looked like she picked that ball right up off the ground almost. I don't know how she got under it, let alone her teammate was able to tip it over for the point. Huge point for Archbishop Mitty.
Powers serving. Set middle, big swing, kept alive. Page was the attacker, and now Archbishop Mitty. The King Wolves will have a swing at it, dug by Schmidt once again. Set middle, huge kill, Alexa Dreyer.
And that quick hit, I mean, so typically you'll see the high set ball. That one there, just the quick set, quick snap. Great finish there by Archbishop Mitty.
Timeout taken by Martin Luther King. Archbishop Mitty has an 11-9 lead. It's game one of the Division II Girls Volleyball State Championship.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Brian Bilvin and John Henry Winter Nolte coming to you live from Concordia University, the CU Arena in Irvine, California. It's the State Volleyball Championships here in California, the CIF-State Tournament. This is the Division II matchup, the 4th out of 5 games here this evening. And it's Archbishop Mitty leading Martin Luther King 11-9 midway through game 1. The Archbishop Mitty Monarchs with a lot on the line, not just a state title, but a chance at a national championship, as they are undefeated and ranked first, second, or third by all the publications around the country. So they'll be fighting for that national title if they can win this one here tonight. But they've got to get it done on the court, and King would like to have something to say about that, as there's a big block on the right side. Combining for that one, Allie Wheeler and Alexa Dreyer. And the Monarchs extend their lead 12-9 here in game 1.
And Calais Greeley, the one going up for the shot on that one, blocked well at the net. She can't get too frustrated, though.
Big swing by the Wolves. In response, that was Jessica Chase with the kill. Excuse me. That was Calais Greeley, the go-to attacker for Martin Luther King. The senior setter, Tiana Barnett, serving, and the Monarchs have a little trouble with it. Back set, swung by Greeley, and the Monarchs get a big block. Point Archbishop Mitty, and they lead 13-10.
And so far early in this game, King has done a good job of distributing the ball kind of all around the court, and not just going to Calais, but distributing it to Rachel Brown, who's been pretty successful. They've got to keep doing that and move it around the court.
Set outside, Rachel Brown right on cue. John Henry, you'll take credit for that one, as the Wolves get the side out.
Just the 1 point, though. That's all I want credit for.
Calais Greeley at the service line. Set goes middle. Great dig, back row, Greeley. She'll get the set. And a nice dig on the other side by Schmidt. Right side, and Greeley with another dig. Wow, Calais Greeley, and then her teammate Jessica Chase hammers it home. 2 great digs on the play by the junior Calais Greeley.
And as dangerous as she is at the net, it's almost like she's even more dangerous when she's serving and then digging those 2 balls out, and then finally getting it over to Jessica Chase, the senior captain, for the kill.
Greeley serving again. Set goes outside, and a big block on the right-hand side by the Wolves. Right side set, kill. Allie Wheeler doing the job for the Monarchs.
And it seems like every time Archbishop scores one of those shots right at the net, it's Wheeler. She is tough to stop.
Outside set for the Wolves, and a kill off the block. Jessica Chase once again.
King's doing a good job of moving the ball around. We're not just saying 1 or 2 players' names out there, but 3 or 4 different players getting kills and helping out this team.
Jump float serve by Reagan Lowe, and a big kill on the outside. Nice smash there by Shireen Talui for Archbishop Mitty. And the Monarchs have a 2-point lead.
After that big hit, Talui's going to go take a little bit of rest there, get some water. And Alyssa Jones will be serving.
Serve on the way. The Wolves have a little bit of trouble with it. They're going to give a free ball back to the Monarchs, and the free ball will go out of bounds and right over to our producer, Jared Nelson, making a play on that, being assisted by Finn Prendergast. And the Monarchs have a 3-point lead. Alyssa Jones with the floater long, side out for the Wolves.
And Reagan Lowe, that previous shot, she was a little frustrated. She dug it off the serve, but she knew it was going out. So that one, being really careful and just having a great eye, letting it fly long.
Rachel Brown will serve, jump floater. Back row attack by Wheeler of the Monarchs. It's dug by the Wolves. They'll go outside, and a huge block on the right. Kelsey Crawford combines on the block with Heather Lowell, and the Monarchs extend their lead to 3. Big set, middle, and a kill. Mia Madot for Martin Luther King, and the Wolves are playing totally unafraid out there.
And the senior Mia Madot making her presence felt here. We're calling all kinds of names for that King High School squad.
Melanie Hughes, the server, overpass, and it's hammered home by Greeley. You don't want to give her an open net.
No, Greeley's going to win that ball every time. Going to try to get an official height on Greeley. We have her listed at 6'2". I wouldn't be surprised if she's got a couple more inches on her.
Back row set, Wheeler, and it's touched by the Wolves. Allie Wheeler has been the go-to attacker for Archbishop Mitty.
And the senior, that senior quality leadership is, I'm sure, something that they've leaned on all year. Staying 37-0.
The set's going to go to Wheeler in the front row, and it's going to be handled, kept alive by the Wolves, but the Monarchs get it back. They set outside, and hitting it long is Claire Powers. Nice rally by Martin Luther King, and they win the point. They're within a point of Archbishop Mitty, 18-17 here in game 1.
This game 1 is going to be so huge. If King can rally and continue to stick with Archbishop Mitty and pull out a victory and get that first game on the board, that's going to be so huge for them down the line.
Set goes right side, Powers, and a kill.
Claire Powers, when she hits that ball, it's like standing in front of a cannon or something, Brian. I mean, she's so powerful when she hits it. I'm glad I'm not on the other side of the court when she's spiking that ball.
Well, now she's in the back row and at the service line where she serves a nice one. The set's going to go to Greeley, and it's dug by Schmidt. Schmidt was in perfect position for that ball, and the set goes outside. Shireen Talui with the tip. And the Monarchs again extend their lead to 3 points, 20-17 here in game 1. Timeout taken by Martin Luther King. Gene Krieger wants to talk to the Wolves. They're in this one, but they trail by 3. It's PlayOnSports.com's coverage of the Division II State Championship.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information as well as links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Brian Vilvin and John Henry Winter Nolte bringing you the live action from CU Arena in Irvine, California. The Division II State Championship match between Archbishop Mitty, the champions of the North, and the Southern champion Martin Luther King Wolves. And John Henry, I've been extremely impressed on both sides, but especially this Martin Luther King team that has come out and played completely fearless volleyball against the experienced and 8-time champion Archbishop Mitty Monarchs.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, King's got nothing to lose, and that's exactly what both coaches were talking about before this game. They've been having a great season, having a lot of fun. The girls are enjoying it, and you know what? They're here to win it. I don't care what anyone says. They're here, and they're going to give it their best shot.
Set goes Greeley, but she is denied. Big block on the right side by Wheeler and Alexa Dreyer. Allie Wheeler is having a fantastic match for Archbishop Mitty.
I believe that's her 4th or 5th kill of the night.
Set to the middle, and Wheeler with another block, but it goes wide, so chalk up the kill to Calais Greeley. It looked like Allie Wheeler was going to have another block. Instead, the Wolves side out, and they will send the senior setter Tiana Barnett to the service line, the captain, and she'll serve it long. She'd like to have that one back as it's a 4-point Monarch lead late here in game 1 in this best-of-5 state championship match.
And we talked about mistakes earlier in the game, and those are ones you just can't give points as they get one right back. Can't make mistakes in the championship match.
Anne-Marie Schmidt serves that one into the net. And it's a point for the Wolves, exchanging back-to-back service errors for these two teams. Greeley at the service line. Set Wheeler right side, and no doubt about it, Allie Wheeler with the kill.
And as I'm watching her play, it doesn't look like she's doing anything special or crazy or out of the norm. She's just hitting the ball, jumping higher and hitting the ball harder than anyone else on the court.
Super efficient is Allie Wheeler. 23-19, the Monarchs lead. Great dig by Schmidt. Set outside. Big block of the net by the Wolves. But Archbishop Mitty's going to have another shot at it. They go right side to Wheeler. And Wheeler from the back row puts it home. It's game point for Archbishop Mitty.
And Wheeler does not feel constrained by whatever position she's playing. She's always looking for that kill.
Wheeler with the float serve. Set goes outside and a block at the net. Shireen Talui and Kelsey Crawford combined for the block. Excuse me, that was Heather Lowell and Kelsey Crawford combining on the block. And the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs take game one by a final score of 25-19. They lead the match 1-0. It's PlayOnSports.com's coverage of the Girls Division II State Volleyball Championship.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Saturday night volleyball action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports, live here. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Brian Vilvin and John Henry Winter Nolte coming to you live from CU Arena at Concordia University in Irvine, California, where the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs have taken a 1-0 lead over the Martin Luther King Wolves here in the Division II State Championship. And right now out on the floor, we've got the King High School cheerleaders doing a dance that has the entire crowd captivated here. We got a full house at CU Arena. And not only is the crowd watching, but the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs team watching that routine. So it seems like the Monarchs are out here just taking care of business. And as Martin Luther King is huddled up talking about what they're going to do next, the Mitty Monarchs are just going about their business over there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that Coach can say to change what they did in that first game. I mean, a couple small errors that they gave King a point here or there, but nothing big, no crucial mistakes or tendencies that really is going to let this team be picked apart. Archbishop Mitty just doing a great job of playing their game. That's exactly what they're focused on, and they're not worried about the last game. Now it's 0-0. They're going into the second game fresh.
Well, early there in game one, King seemed to have a lot of momentum. They came out fired up, and they used that spirit at the beginning to hang in there with Archbishop Mitty, take a lead there midway through the first game. But then it looked like the Monarchs just put on another gear and went forward, and there was no stopping them there toward the end of game one.
Yeah, they're so consistent, so tough to stop. They have so many different weapons in Wheeler, in Crawford, and in the libero, Anne-Marie Schmidt. She's so consistent in each dig and each time that she touches the ball. I mean, this team is tough to stop just because they do the simple things right.
Well, the King Wolves are going to have to get something going here. You'd hate to go down 2-0 against the mighty Monarchs of Archbishop Mitty, as both teams come out onto the floor for the start of game two. And the great thing about volleyball, when you start a new game, the score is 0-0. So no matter what the score was in game one, it's all tied up here to start things off in game two. And Martin Luther King has new life here in this second game after dropping 25-19 the first game.
And if we're looking out on the court here, the King squad is getting ready to go. They're all smiles, Brian. You got to love to see that. Girls are out here having fun, staying loose, playing like there's no tomorrow because that's exactly what this is. This is a championship match.
The state championship, the be-all and end-all of girls volleyball this season. The Division II game and the Division I game to follow will be the two final girls high school volleyball matches of the season here in the state of California. And it's the King Wolves that'll get it started. Mia Madat as we get ready to go here in game 2. Set goes outside and a kill. Shireen Talui with another kill for the Monarchs. A very efficient game 1 for Talui. It seemed like every time she got a set, she got a kill. The libero Anne-Marie Schmidt will serve for the Monarchs. They set the middle, and it's dug by Archbishop Mitty. Big block in the middle. Lauren Page with the roof.
And we called Page's name a few times early in that game, in that first game when King had that momentum and had the lead and was back and forth with Archbishop Mitty. So maybe she's got to get involved a little more.
The set goes outside. It's kept alive by the Wolves, and they get a big swing, but long. That was Calais Greeley who hit it long, and it's a point for the Monarchs.
Now, if you're King, you don't want to get too big of a deficit here. So tough to come back against Archbishop Mitty.
The set's going to go to the middle, and it's dug by the Monarchs. They go back row to Wheeler, and Wheeler hits it long. Allie Wheeler in that first game was extremely efficient. 6 kills with no errors on 12 attempts. That was her first attack error of the match. So a very efficient first game by Wheeler, and she hits one out of bounds to start game 2. And the serve goes into the net. Calais Greeley with the error and a side out for Archbishop Mitty.
And those are the opportunities. You know, you've got an unforced error on the side of Archbishop Mitty. The Monarchs not able to put it in, hit it long, and then right away the Wolves hit it right into the net. Trading points.
The serve on the way by Alyssa Jones, the junior. And an inadvertent horn here in the arena. The Wolves keep it alive. It's going to be a free ball back to Archbishop Mitty's side. And they hit the free ball wide. And then Allie Wheeler hits it into the net. Anne-Marie Schmidt thought that ball might get in on the back line, so she had to make a play running away from the net. And Martin Luther King gets the point.
Yeah, if Schmidt leaves that one, doesn't touch it, that's a point for Archbishop Mitty. But when in doubt, you got to go for it. Keep the ball in play.
Haley Montgomery will serve into the net for the Wolves. So a little more sloppy play on both sides here as we get going here in game 2. The adrenaline from game 1 has worn off, and the teams are settling in.
And I think the key part of what you just said there, Brian, was that it's both teams. That's why it's only a 1-point lead for Archbishop Mitty. But King could really capitalize on a few of these mistakes and go up by a few points.
Kelly Garen's with the serve, and the attack attempt goes long by Jessica Chase. Point Archbishop Mitty, and Garen's will continue to serve for the Monarchs.
I can guarantee you, King coach right now, Gene Krieger's a little upset with his girls. He sees that open door, and the Wolves really got to take advantage of this opportunity here.
Garen's with the jump floater, a nice serve, passed by Greeley, set goes middle, and it's a kill in the middle by Mia Madat. Madat, a very solid match so far for the Wolves.
And it's got to be so tough when you're out there giving 100% to be able to recognize that, oh, I'm going to not swing as hard as I can at this ball and just touch it over to the side. Good composure there by Madat.
Rachel Brown will serve for the Wolves. Set middle and a kill for Archbishop Mitty. Alexa Dreyer from the middle. The server, Kelsey Crawford for the Monarchs. Greeley's going to get the set in the back row for the Wolves. And the Monarchs keep it alive. Nicely done. Free ball back for King. Set middle, Madat, and she puts it down.
And again, Madat, so tough to stop. She's such a big net presence, and she can wind up and hit it, and then she'll wind up and throw that changeup at you. And if you're way out in front, not ready for it, you're going to swing and miss.
Melanie Hughes with the jump floater for the Wolves. Archbishop Mitty is going to set the right side, and hammering it home is Claire Powers.
And credit Kelsey Crawford with a great set to her backside. The short side of the court, everybody thought it was coming this way, and out of nowhere, she sets it behind her.
The set goes outside to Greeley, dug by the Monarchs. They go back row to Powers, who hits a roll shot. And again, Greeley will have an attempt for the Wolves. Dug by Archbishop Mitty. Wheeler's going to get a set on the right side and hits it over the block and in front of the defender. Great swing by Allie Wheeler.
The senior trying to get back into her rhythm that she had in that first game, in which she had 6 kills, and as you mentioned, 0 errors, which is so typical of this Archbishop Mitty team. That's what makes them so successful. Taking care of business when it matters.
Powers will serve for the Monarchs, leading 8-5 here in game 2, leading 1-0 in the match. And the Wolves have some trouble with that serve. It's going to be an ace for Powers. getting loud. And Brown with an overpass. Set middle and no touch, 4 contacts against the Monarchs. The King Wolves have tied it once again. Martin Luther King showing tremendous poise and a lot of talent out there on the volleyball court. There's a reason they went on the road and beat La Costa Canyon, the number 1 seed in the Southern California Championship. A free ball comes to the Wolves side. They're going to set Greeley, who puts it away, and the Wolves have the lead. 17-16 here in game 2.
Now you're in the driver's seat. I don't care what seed you are, what your record is, who won the first game. You've got the lead here. You've got the crowd. It's getting louder and louder here every point, it seems like. And they've got to keep rolling here. The Wolves can only lose this themselves.
Mia Madot serving, 50-50 ball at the net, kept alive by the Wolves. They'll give a down ball to the Monarchs side, who set the right side in Wheeler, and Allie Wheeler puts it down. And of course.
If you're Archbishop Mitty, when in doubt, give it to Allie Wheeler. Man, again, just putting it where the other players are not and making it so difficult on the Wolves to make a play on those balls. Great job by Allie Wheeler.
Chase with the pass, overpass, and a swing. And a hit wide by Shireen Talui. And again, the Wolves take a 1-point lead.
And Talui wants that one back. She's got a little smile on her face saying, if I had that one again, I would not hit it out of bounds. But she had the whole court in front of her and just mishit it.
Barnett, the server. The Monarchs have a swing. They go Wheeler. And it's dug by Barnett. Back row set to Chase. And it's dug by the Monarchs. Kept alive by Greeley, who gets a swing. And is dug by Schmidt. Great rally both sides. And the middle gets a kill. Nice job, Heather Lowell, putting it down for the Monarchs.
And it's those long rallies where Archbishop Mitty seems to always come away with the points. King's got to be able to come out of those long rallies with a couple points if they want to win this one.
Overpass up at the net, and it's a dig by Greeley. Back row set Chase, kept alive by the Monarchs. And a lift is going to be called against Archbishop Mitty. And again, back and forth. The Wolves take a 1-point lead with Chloe Greeley at the service line.
And a huge block there by Lauren Page, the sophomore, in the middle here. Doing a good job of making Archbishop Mitty, forcing them to make that mistake.
Greeley serving, set goes middle, and a kill by Lowell. 19-19, back and forth we go. Will anyone be able to pull away?
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Saturday night volleyball action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports live here.
CU Arena at Concordia University in Irvine, California is the scene of the 2012 CIF Girls State Volleyball Championships. We've already had 3 champions crowned here today. The Branson Bulls won the Division 5 championship. The Francis Parker Lancers won Division 4, and the Cathedral Catholic Dons took home the crown in Division 3. Archbishop Mitty and Martin Luther King are looking to join those 3 as state champions here today. It's Archbishop Mitty leading the match 1-0 and leading game 2 22-20, looking to take a commanding 2-0 lead. And the number 1 team in the nation, Archbishop Mitty, will have that opportunity right now. The server, Casey Tierney, serves it long. Service error and a side out for the Wolves.
I guess we can credit Coach Gene Krieger with the side out on that one, making a good timeout call, letting Tierney kind of think about it, almost icing the kicker style, and they get the point, and the Kings get the ball back as well.
Rachel Brown with the jump float serve. The set goes outside, and a big kill on the outside by Claire Powers for the Monarchs.
And Powers and Wheeler, the 1-2 combo, when they're both in the front there, they're tough to stop.
A server, Crawford. Set outside to chase, and it's dug. The Monarchs now have a swing, and it's Powers again. She's dug by Greeley. Chase on the outside, and she's blocked. They say no touch on the play. 4 contacts against the Wolves, and Archbishop Mitty has game point here in game 2. The server will be the setter, Crawford, serving for game 2. The set goes Chase. And Chase puts it down. Jessica Chase with a huge kill for the Wolves.
And if you're Martin Luther King High School right now, you've got to focus on this point and this point alone, one at a time here, and sneak back into this one.
Melanie Hughes, the server. It's still game point for the Monarchs. Kept alive by Brown. The Wolves will have a swing at it. That's Greeley. Dig, Schmidt. Set right side. Huge swing, Wheeler, and the Monarchs take game 2, 25-22. The Archbishop Mitty Monarchs take a commanding 2-0 lead here in the Division II Championship. It's PlayOnSports.com's coverage of the Girls Volleyball State Championships on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you information and news as well as links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Brian Bilvin and John Henry Winter Nolte coming to you live from Irvine, California, and the Division II Girls Volleyball State Championship. And John Henry, it's been a great effort by the King Wolves, a big underdog coming into this championship game. But in games 1 and game 2, it's been Archbishop Mitty taking control, seizing control right at the end of those games and going on to make runs at the end and win game 1 and 2 comfortably.
Yeah, Archbishop Mitty has done a really good job of just playing their game, exactly what Coach said before the game. They're focusing on the next moment, not the moment that just happened, focusing on that next point. Now they're focusing on this game number 3. you've got girls like Claire Powers, Allie Wheeler just doing a fantastic job. And I'd like to see some numbers for both of them. I believe Wheeler's got 10 kills, and Powers has 7 on the evening, leading that Archbishop Mitty squad. And then on the other side, Brian, you've got the Wolves in Jessica Chase, Mia Madat, Calais Greeley, and Lauren Page all being very, very successful when they get the opportunity to make a kill. I think if they spread that ball around and let each one of those have an even number of attempts today, in this third game at least, they're going to be able to catch Archbishop Mitty on their heels and make a run for this third game.
Well, they need to get it done and get it done quickly, as Archbishop Mitty is one game away from realizing their 9th state championship. They've been 13 times, including their appearance here this evening, and they've won 8 of them. For Martin Luther King, this is their first appearance in the state championship match, so uncharted territory for this King team that has done some fabulous things this season. But right now, they don't want to just get here. They want to win, and they know that they've been in both of these games. They can compete with this Archbishop Mitty team, and they're going to try to make it happen here in Game 3.
You hit the nail right on the head there, Brian. I'm sure that's exactly what Coach Gene Krieger was saying out there. Like, listen, we've lost the last 2 games, 25-22 and 25-19. There's at least 6 unforced errors that they made in that first game, and at least 3 unforced errors they made in the second one. If they can keep a clean match and a clean game, they'll be able to take this one.
Claire Powers, the first server for the Monarchs. They get the dig off of an attack attempt by the Wolves, and they put it down again. Alexa Dreyer, so efficient in the middle with the kill for Archbishop Mitty, and they take a 1-0 lead.
And when we were talking about the key players for Archbishop Mitty, we neglected to mention Alexa Dreyer, who has been so successful for them, right in the middle of the court with 5 kills so far.
And a net violation is going to be called against the Monarchs. Chalk up that kill to Calais Greeley for the Wolves.
And at this point, you take what you can get. It looked like everybody was kind of looking around at each other, trying to figure out what was the call there. Either way, it's a point for the Wolves.
And the ensuing serve by Tiana Barnett goes wide, and it's a point for the Monarchs.
The Wolves really don't have the leeway to make errors like that.
They serve on the way by Schmidt. It's going to be a tip in the middle, and that time Calais Greeley's going to get the kill there. Everybody thought she was going to try to hammer that one. She tipped it at the last second, and 2 Archbishop Mitty players tripped on themselves trying to make the dig.
Great smart play there by Calais.
Set middle. Kill, Heather Lowell. And John Henry, whether we're talking about Alexa Dreyer or Heather Lowell, the sophomore and the senior respectively, they're both getting the job done in the middle for the Monarchs.
And Lowell gets her kill count up to 5 as well.
Service ace for Wheeler. Seems like every time we're calling Allie Wheeler's name, it's something positive.
Yeah, you want someone like that on your team, that's for sure.
Wheeler serving again. This time the set goes Brown, far side. Wheeler's going to step in and set for the Monarchs, who get the dig. They go backside, and it's blocked. Big roof by Lauren Page and Rachel Brown.
Brown and Page doing a good job getting 4 hands in the way of that kill. That's exactly what they need to do.
Mia Madat back into the game for the Wolves. 4-3 Archbishop Mitty leading King. The server will be Reagan Lowe for the Wolves. Nice serve. Overpass comes back to the Wolves. And a big swing by Chase, but it's dug by Wheeler. Wheeler from the back row, dug by the Wolves. They go middle. And a net violation against the Monarchs. Give a kill to Mia Madat.
And Madat's another one on this King squad who's been such a dominant force when she's in there in the middle. Number 9, the senior, doing a great job in the middle, holding it down.
Reagan Lowe, the server. And she's got herself another ace. And the Wolves have taken the lead 5-4 here in Game 3.
Reagan Lowe, you got to mention, as we can hear the crowd start chanting, she is a freshman, a true freshman. Not at this level. She's a regular freshman, doing a great job in this championship match.
Set outside, dug by the freshman. Now the set goes outside to Chase, and it's dug by the libero Schmidt for the Monarchs. The Wolves are going to have another swing at it. They go Brown, and she gets it through the block. Point Wolves.
And the Wolves now making a little bit of a run of it, as Lowe continues to serve here, doing a great job for King.
Jump floater by the freshman, over in two, and it's kept alive, but they say it hit the ground. Kelsey Crawford gets the kill for the Monarchs. A little bit of confusion there whether that ball had hit the ground or not, but the officials say it did, and the Monarchs get the point.
Smart play by Crawford, being able to recognize that opportunity and taking advantage.
The Wolves set the middle, Madot, and it's dug by the Monarchs. Outside set Powers. Dug by Greeley. Set outside, Chase. Kept alive. Greeley's going to have a swing from the back row, and it's dug by Schmidt. Great rally both sides. Set goes back row, Greeley again, and it's dug by the Monarchs. Archbishop Mitty's going to have a swing. They go Powers. Powers dug by Chase. Now Chase will have a swing at it. Chase. And she hits it wide. Just wide, and a point for the Monarchs. We're all tied up at 6.
And King trying to move that ball around. Obviously, you'd like to see Calais Greeley hitting those kills from the front row. You've got other weapons up that are actually playing in the front row. When you keep sending it back to her in the back row, she's going to be a little less effective, especially when the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs are ready for those shots.
Alyssa Jones will serve for the Monarchs. Free ball back to Archbishop Mitty. They go back row to Wheeler, and she puts it down. Allie Wheeler. Keep it going.
Man, why not? Why not just keep going to her, go to Powers? Tough team to stop. So deep, Archbishop Mitty.
Jones will serve with the lead, 7-6. Set outside, Chase with a tip and a kill.
And as much as last game was back and forth, Brian, here we are again, 7-7 in the third game.
It'll be Rachel Brown at the service line. John Henry, you talk about it, another back and forth affair as every game has been Wheeler.
In the wheelhouse.
Allie Wheeler with another kill, adding to her match high
of 12.
Caitlin Hipscher will serve for Archbishop Mitty. The jump floater is going to go just long. Nice job by Danica Lim, the libero for the Wolves, letting that one go out of bounds. And it's an 8-8 game.
Now, we've seen the Wolves be able to hang with and exchange points with Archbishop Mitty. The question is, can they get that 2-3 point lead and maintain it throughout the game, get to 25 first?
Set goes outside Powers. Powers dug by the freshman. Low. Set outside Greeley. Hits it wide. Great opportunity there for Calais Greeley after a really nice dig by Reagan Lowe. But the Wolves cannot convert, and the Monarchs get the point.
She hit it wide, but from this angle, that was very, very close. Let's put it that way.
Kelsey Crawford serving and serves it wide. So a couple of errors back and forth for both teams.
And Danica Lynn, the second time it served right at her, and it's just gone centimeters long or wide. And she's doing a good job of recognizing that court presence, knowing where she is and knowing where that
kept alive by the Wolves, and a tip and a kill. Lauren Page with the kill. And King adds to their lead, 11-9 here in game 3.
Page with a smart kill. Again, finding the open space and putting it to the floor.
Mia Madot will serve for the Wolves. Big swing, Powers, and she gets it through the block. John Henry, I almost said she powers it through the block, but had to help myself there.
Got to be a little more creative than that, man.
11-10, the King lead over Archbishop Mitty here in game 3, but the Monarchs have a 2-0 lead in the match. There's a little wet spot out there on the floor. We've got towels coming out. We've got Swiffer sweepers going out there. One way or another, we're going to get that wet spot cleared up.
And Powers, the last 2 points scored. She had that one that was just centimeters out wide, and then she was making sure on that last one, put it through the arms of the defenders, score the point.
The Powers serve is handled, and then Powers gets a great dig. Looked like a sure kill for the Wolves. Instead, they'll have another swing at it. Greeley hits it into the net. Claire Powers with an unbelievable dig. The dig of the match so far. And the Monarchs have tied it up at 11.
And Powers goes from front of the net making kills to service and making the dig, too, for that point. Just contributing on all levels for the Monarchs.
Set back row. Kept alive by Chase. Outside Greeley, and a net violation is going to be called against the Monarchs. Point Wolves.
And the Monarchs are doing a great job of giving Greeley quite the rough time. Every time she gets to the net, they are waiting there for her. So if they're able to spread it out to players like Brown, Page, Maddox, Chase, they're going to have a little opportunity.
Block on the outside, kept alive. Powers from the back row hits it into the net. And it's another point for the Wolves. They lead by 2. 13-11 here in game 3.
And if they can make this lead, turn it from 2 to 4 all of a sudden, we have a different game here. And that's the beauty, as you mentioned, Brian, the beauty of volleyball. As soon as that next game starts, it's 0-0 again. But they've got to get through this game first.
The server, Tiana Barnett, with a 2-point lead. John Henry, you said they need to get it to 3 points and then maintain it. Let's see if they can do that here. Wheeler, she's got something to say about it.
She, on the near side here, I think she did hear me. And one way or the other, still match leading, 13 kills for Allie Wheeler. Wow.
The server will be Anne-Marie Schmidt. Free ball coming to the Monarchs, looking to tie this one up. They'll go Wheeler, why not? And Wheeler's dug. Great job, Barnett, stepping in and making the play. Chase from the back row, dug by Powers. Outside, off the block, and a kill. That was Shireen Talui for Mitty.
And then as soon as we're focusing on Power and Wheeler and back and forth, and then all of a sudden Talui getting in on the action. Doing a great job all around.
Schmidt serving, set middle, kill Lauren Page.
Lauren Page with her 5th kill of the night. She's dangerous in that middle. Great addition to this team.
This server will be Calais Greeley. And again, we've got a little wet spot out there. Now it's on a further side of the court. Later on in the game here, once the players have gotten sweaty, those wet spots start showing up on the floor. But they got the towel and the Swiffer out there, and we're clean again.
Back in business.
Calais Greeley at the service line with a 1-point lead for the Wolves. 14-13 here in game 3. Set right side. Wheeler over the top of the block, but it's dug. Middle, Page into the net.
And she wants that one back. She had the spot wide open, and she just wasn't able to put it over the net. Tough break for Page and the Wolf.
Allie Wheeler will serve. The Wolves get a nice pass. They go middle, Page, and a lift called against the setter, Barnett. The pass went a little bit tight to the net, and Barnett at just 5'3", had trouble going up and getting that one, lifted it, and again, Archbishop Mitty has a lead. Wheeler serving. Overpass, kept alive, and the Wolves left swinging it. That's Brown. She's dug. Over in two, kept alive by Barnett, but it hits the ground. Nice job recognizing that by Crawford. And the setter calling her own number, getting the kill, taking a 2-point lead, and a timeout will be taken by Martin Luther King. They trail 16-14 here in Game 3. They trail 2-0 in the match. It's PlayOnSports.com's coverage of the CIF Division II State Championship.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information as well as links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Brian Bilbin and John Henry Winter Nolte from CU Arena in Irvine, California, on the campus of Concordia University. And Archbishop Mitty has mounted a comeback here in Game 3. They're looking to close this one out 3-0. And they've got Allie Wheeler at the service line trying to make that happen. 16-14. They are 9 points away from another Division II championship. It would be their 9th of all time in their 13th appearance. Wheeler, the senior, at the line. Float serve, pass by Chase. The set will go middle, Page, Doug Wheeler. Back row, Powers, out of bounds, just long.
And if you're Coach Krieger, I think that's a great time to call timeout before that last point. I mean, you were just up 2 points, and then all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard and you're down 2 points. 4-point swing, and he fixed that problem, hopefully.
Jump floater on the way, and an ace by the freshman Reagan Lowe. 16 apiece on the biggest stage, and Reagan Lowe is getting it done. And the King fans are reminding Archbishop Mitty that she's a freshman. Set outside, big swing, nice dig by Lowe. Set outside, Chase, dug by Schmidt. Tip by the Monarchs, kept alive by King, and instead it hits the floor. Archbishop Mitty will get the ball back. They have the lead. 17-16 here in Game 3. We've got a substitution. Kelly Gerens will come in to serve for Archbishop Mitty.
And the Monarchs, so tough to stop. Even there on another long rally, they come out with the point. That seems to be the difference here.
Gerens serving. Set middle. Kept alive by Schmidt. Down ball coming for the Wolves, and they can't handle that one. It's going to go for a kill for Claire Powers, and a point for Archbishop Mitty. They're getting closer. 18-16, their lead, 7 points away from the Division II crown. And Kelly Gerens still serving. Set outside. Chase, Doug Wheeler. Middle, Powers. Dig by the Wolves. They're going to go back out to Chase, and it's dug by Schmidt. Wheeler. Chase will have a swing at it. She's going to tip it. It's dug by Powers. And over in two. Nearly a lift. No call, though. And we've got a slide set to the middle. Great rally both sides. The Wolves will have a swing at it, and it's pushed out of bounds off the right arm of Mia Madot. And the Monarchs have another point. They've opened up their biggest lead here of Game 3. It's 19-16, Archbishop Mitty.
Very reminiscent of the first two games. The Monarchs pulling away late in the game. Of course, they serve that one out of bounds and lose 1 point on the lead. But either way, this is kind of how they play. They let the other team hang in there, and then on those big points when it really counts, they get those points, and that's how they build their lead at the end of the games.
Rachel Brown will serve for the Wolves. Great dig by Chase, kept alive by Barnett. And this time, again, it will be Chase. Kept alive by the Monarchs. Powers with a swing. Middle, Madot, kept alive. Slide, Mia Madot. And again a dig by Archbishop Mitty. And a kill, Claire Powers takes a little something off of it, tips it to the middle, and gets a kill for Archbishop Mitty. They keep that 3-point lead, 20-17.
And again, I know we keep saying it, but a long rally by both sides. Everybody making plays. Monarch just able to put that last touch in, get it to the floor on the other side.
The server will be Hipscher for the Monarchs. Chase with a swing, and she's blocked. Big block in the middle. Alexa Dreyer combining on the play with Kelsey Crawford, and the Monarchs are 4 points away. 21-17, they lead it. Timeout, Martin Luther King. It's Game 3 of PlayOnSports.com's coverage of the CIF Girls Division II State Championship.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Saturday night volleyball action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports live here.
Brian Bilvin and John Henry Winter-Nolte bringing you all the action from the Division II Championship here at CU Arena in Irvine, California. And folks, we want to remind you to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game. We'll have a live interview on the air with that player, and then we'll wrap up all the action from this ball game. Again, that's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports and the CIF-State Volleyball Championships, PlayOnSports.com. Archbishop Mitty can smell it now. It's a 4-point Monarch lead. The server Hipscher for the Monarchs. The Wolves will go outside. Chase. And she's blocked again, and then off of her body for another point. That's back-to-back blocks by Dreyer and Crawford. And the Monarchs are 3 points away.
Dreyer and Crawford combining so well to put up just literally a wall.
The set goes to the backside to Madot. Nice dig on the play. Wheeler's going to get a set for the Monarchs. It'll be dug again by the Wolves. Madot. Dig. Set middle and a kill in the middle. Alexa Dreyer. And Archbishop Mitty's 2 points away. No more timeouts left for the Wolves. They've got to get it done on the court here. Caitlin Hipscher, the senior, will serve again for Archbishop Mitty. The set goes outside for Chase. And it's kept alive somehow by the Monarchs. Again, Chase. This time Wheeler with the dig. Kill in the middle. Alexa Dreyer, she's got 3 straight kills on the last 3 plays. And it's championship point for the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs. Caitlin Hipscher will do the serving honors for the Monarchs.
And the crowd can feel it as the Archbishop Mitty fans stand up.
Championship point. The set goes to Chase. And Chase puts it away for the Wolves. It's still championship point for Archbishop Mitty. 24-18, they lead. The serve will come from Hughes. Pass by Schmidt. Set goes outside. Powers, and the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs are the state champions in Division II. The Monarchs, a 25-18 winner in Game 3. They take the match 3-0. And Archbishop Mitty caps off an undefeated season. Congratulations to Coach Brett Almazan Cesar and the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs, their 9th Division II championship. And the Monarchs are perfect in 2012.
And And what an accomplishment for these girls, especially the seniors. You've got Schmidt, Heather Lowell, Caitlin Hipsher, Allie Wheeler, who we said so many names, so many times tonight. She was such a huge contributor. And a great job to cap off a stellar year for this Archbishop Mitty High School girls volleyball team.
Well, folks, what Archbishop Mitty just did this year, going 38-0, does not happen often. It's a very special year, and they have a shot at a national championship here. They won't play any more games, but depending on how things finish up around the country, Archbishop Mitty is going to be right there with an opportunity to win that national title. 38-0, Archbishop Mitty, the Division II champions. They beat King after a great effort by Martin Luther King. The final score, 3-0. Folks, we invite you to stay tuned to the PlayOnSports.com post-game coverage. We'll wrap up all the action in our post-game show and have an interview with our player of the game coming up in just a few minutes. Once again, congratulations to Archbishop Mitty, who defeated King 3-0 in the girls' Division II State Volleyball Championship game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. I'm standing here with our player of the game from the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs, Allie Wheeler, the senior opposite, who had a match-high 14 kills while hitting .375 tonight. An unbelievable match, completing a three-game sweep there in Game 3, but also an undefeated 38-0 season and a state championship. How does it feel?
Awesome. I'm so excited, and honestly, I'm just so speechless. We worked so hard, and we really deserved it, so.
Well, you guys must have had high expectations coming into the season because you've got so much talent across your roster. But could you guys ever have imagined 38-0? Was that something on your radar? Or?
It was definitely, we always shoot high for goals, so it was definitely on our list, but honestly, we didn't expect it, so we're so excited.
And some national rankings have you guys number one. Do you guys pay much attention to that kind of stuff, or is that out of your control?
We try and just focus on practicing and playing hard, and that will come. Those accomplishments will come. So.
Well, you guys won your 9th championship as a school. That ties the state record. Is that something you guys know about heading into a season or into a game like today? How much is on the line for your school?
We definitely do realize that, but we just try and take it one step at a time and focus on the game. So.
Well, I know you guys have been getting a lot of attention. How does it feel now to finally have it all out of the way, and you did win that championship and finish undefeated? Has it settled in yet?
Honestly, no. No, I'm still in shock, but I'm so happy. It was a great way to end our season. So.
Well, you guys played against a really scrappy team in King. They came out firing, and they were right there in all 3 games. Did you guys know much about them coming in, or were you expecting that type of fight?
We watched film and stuff, and they were definitely a good team. They were really good. They had great hitters and great defense, so we definitely saw their abilities. So.
Well, you guys played against a very good team tonight, but you guys were a great team tonight and all season. Congratulations once again, the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs, Division II champions, undefeated on the season, and our player of the game, Allie Wheeler. Folks, don't go anywhere. The PlayOnSports.com postgame show will continue in just a moment.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.